Carlos Alcaraz, Coco Gauff marched through Cincinnati second round. Cincinnati. Carlos Alcaraz fought through a second-set slump to post a roller coaster, 6-1, 2-6, 6-3 victory over Demir Jamhour in his opening match of the Cincinnati Open on August 10th. The Spaniard, playing his first tournament since losing to Jannik Sinner in the Wimbledon final, raced through the first set, but completely lost his way in the second, dropping his serve twice against the 33-year-old Bosnian. But Alcaraz regained his intensity and cut down on his errors in the third as the seventh ace took him to a match point that was converted when Jamhour fired wide. "It was just a roller coaster," said the second seed, who was winning his 12th straight match at the Masters 1000 level after clinching the Monte Carlo and Rome titles. "Lots of good feelings, bad feelings, back to the good ones. I am happy to get the win at the end. I know that I have chances to do better." Alcaraz committed 44 unforced errors and set conditions in Cincinnati, where he was runner-up in 2023, were always tricky. "The ball flies a lot, goes super fast," said the 22-year-old, who has reached the finals of his last 6 tournaments. "You have to be ready to be in a good position for each shot, and that is really difficult to do." The 5-time Grand Slam champion next faces Serbia's Hamad Medjedovic. Third seed Alexander Zverev found things more straightforward, winning 6-3. 6-3 against U.S. wildcard Nishesh Besaverdi in the night session. Zverev needed just 66 minutes to get past Besaverdi, a 20-year-old ranked 109th in the world. The German put 41 of his 51st serves in play and didn't face a break point. Besaverdi saved one match point with a blistering service return, but Zverev secured the win with his 12th ace and tuned out the rowdy U.S. crowd that was squarely in his opponent's corner. He will meet American Brandon Nakashima in the third round. American Ben Shelton, coming off his first Masters 1000 title in Toronto, eased through 6-3, 3-1 when Camilo Hugo Carabelli retired with a knee injury. The Argentinian clutched his knee in pain in the fourth game of the second set and tried to play on after taking a medical timeout, but could not continue, clearing a path for Shelton to next face Spaniard Roberto Bautista Agut, who beat Briton Cam Norrie 6-4, 6-3 earlier in the day. Shelton's early night was a boon after a draining Toronto tournament, which ended only on August 7th night. "It's not easy to play a couple of days after winning any title," Shelton said. "I feel for Camilo, and it's obviously not the way that you want to go through. I hope that he has a quick recovery." Asked about the tape on his own right thigh, Shelton said he has a few muscle things going on. "The legs take a lot of force," he added. 6th seed Alex de Minaur of Australia, the Washington champion, lost to American Riley Opelka 7-6, 8-6, 6-4. But another Australian, Adam Walton, secured a first top 50 win of his career with a 6-7, 0/7, 6-4, 6-1 upset of former world number 1 Daniil Medvedev of Russia. In the women's draw, French Open champion Coco Gauff battled through a tough first set to beat China's Wang Xinyu 6-3, 6-2. Gauff, who lifted the trophy in Cincinnati in 2023 and went on to claim her first Grand Slam title at the U.S. Open that year, had to grind her way through the first set. But the number 2 seed kept her composure despite 8 double faults in the first set to book a meeting with Ukraine's Diana Yastremska in the third round. The 2023 champion converted on all 5 breakpoint chances she got on center court and was firing on all cylinders as she won 20 of her last 23 points on serve. "I had a shaky start with the serve, but I was able to push through and figure that out," Gauff told the Tennis Channel. "Just taking my time and remembering the things we worked on in practice and just trying not to, I guess, fall into the same old patterns." Gauff's compatriot and former doubles partner, 4th seed Jessica Pegula, eased past Australian Kimberly Birrell 6-4, 6-3. She will face Magda Linette of Poland next. AFP Reuters. The hot Cincinnati sun glared down on the Lindner Family Tennis Center as if nature itself were daring the next generation of tennis stars to step forward. And step forward they did, Carlos Alcaraz and Coco Gauff, 2 names not just echoing through stadiums, but roaring across the world of sport. They weren't just playing matches. They were commanding attention, shifting the tectonic plates of tennis itself, And on this electric afternoon in Ohio, they marched into the second round with all the poise, power, and promise that have come to define their young but already legendary careers. Carlos Alcaraz, the prince who plays like a king. There's something different about the way Carlos Alcaraz walks onto a court. His gait carries the memory of Spanish clay, the muscle of long matches fought under unforgiving sun, and the heart of someone who still plays like he's got everything to prove, despite holding nearly everything already. The crowd buzzed as Alcaraz faced his first opponent of the tournament. His trademark headband held back a mess of curls, and beneath it, a calm fire burned in his eyes. At just 22, the reigning Wimbledon champion had already tasted the sweet pressure of being the world's number one, and though the surface had changed to hard court, his hunger had not. His opponent, a seasoned but lower-ranked player, came out swinging. For a brief moment, the crowd gasped as Alcaraz trailed 3-1. But then the gears clicked. The Spaniard began painting lines, not hitting shots. His forehand, a weapon of science fiction, came alive. He started sprinting across the baseline with feline elegance, turning defense into artistry. A 6-4, 6-3 victory looked comfortable on paper, but anyone watching knew better. It was less about the scoreline and more about the message. Carlos had arrived, not as a boy wonder, not as a prodigy, but as a force of nature, equally comfortable slugging it out in a 5-set war or finessing his way through quick 2-set symphonies. After the handshake, Carlos turned to the crowd, gave his familiar fist pump, and smiled. Not the smile of victory, but of someone already dreaming about the battles ahead. Coco Gauff, the fire from Florida. If Alcaraz is all control and calculated fire, Coco Gauff is something more volcanic. The kind of energy you don't contain. You just learn to watch in awe. At only 21, she carried herself like someone who had both felt the weight of expectation and risen above it with grace. The Cincinnati crowd was electric as Coco strode onto court, dressed in a bold turquoise kit that matched the sky. Her presence was magnetic, but the road ahead was anything but easy. Her opponent, a crafty left-hander from Eastern Europe, had made a habit of toppling seeds. This wasn't just a test of skill. It was a test of resolve. The first few games were a chess match, Gauff moving forward aggressively, her opponent slicing and dicing like a veteran. Coco's serve, once a vulnerability, now cracked the 120 miles per hour barrier with surprising regularity. Her backhand, long a thing of beauty, found angles no one had any business reaching. The turning point came at 4-4 in the first set, on a deuce point. A brutal 18-shot rally ended with Coco sliding into a full stretch and firing a forehand winner up the line. The stadium erupted. Her opponent sighed. The balance had shifted. With a 7-5, 6-2 win, Coco didn't just secure a place in the second round. She made a statement. She wasn't here to tune up before the U.S. Open. She was here to win, to fight, to thrive. A mirror of generations. In many ways, Alcaraz and Gauff are mirrors of each other, not in playing style, but in narrative. Both broke through impossibly young, carried nations on their backs, and then did the impossible. They kept getting better. Alcaraz learned from Nadal, absorbed Djokovic's discipline, and added his own joyful chaos to the mix. Gauff studied Serena, fed off Venus's longevity, and brought a new level of mental sharpness that seems rare even among champions. What's most remarkable, though, is not how much they've won, but how much they've grown. Every match is not just a test of tactics, but a journey of identity, a battle to evolve faster than the game around them. And Cincinnati, with its Midwestern charm and hardcore intensity, feels like the perfect forge. The crowd, the court, the craze. There's a kind of magic to night matches here, when the sun dips below the horizon and the stadium lights come alive like stars. Carlos and Coco may not have shared a court, but their stories intertwine in the hearts of fans. One young boy in the stands wore an Alcaraz jersey, spinning his mini racket like a sword. 2 rows behind him, a girl with beaded braids and a Gauff 2025 cap shouted, "Let's go, Coco!" Every third point. This isn't just sport. It's hope. It's the idea that greatness doesn't have to wait until 28. That talent, when fused with fire and forged through pressure, can redefine an entire era. As the tournament rolls on, both will face tougher opponents, sharper weapons, and deeper fatigue. But if this first round is any sign, they're not here to survive. They're here to dominate. The road ahead. Alcaraz, with his draw, could soon meet seasoned baseliners or serve-and volley tricksters. Each match will ask different questions. But Carlos doesn't fear the quiz. He enjoys it. Coco might cross paths with a fellow American or a seasoned Grand Slam winner in the next few rounds. Her job? Keep her rhythm, trust her game, and let the racket talk louder than the hype. And if destiny aligns, a finals weekend featuring both of them could turn Cincinnati from a pit stop into a proving ground for this new golden age of tennis. Final serve, not just a match, but a movement. As the crowds filed out, many with ice cream in hand and phones buzzing with match alerts, one thing was clear. Tennis is not waiting for the old guard to retire. It's being redefined in real time, by smiling Spaniards and fierce Floridians, by tweeners and cross-court screamers, by joy, grit, and the undeniable rise of youth. Carlos Alcaraz and Coco Gauff are not the future of tennis. They are the now. And in Cincinnati, under blazing sun and rising pressure, the now has never looked more unstoppable.